Well, I just saw Justice League, and that might be the nicest thing I have to say about it. From a story, character, and visual perspective, this movie is a damn mess. Zack Snyder, who was given full director credit, sure loves saturated colors and mediocre stories, and both of those are on full display here. With 3 credited editors, the project has a hastily made feel that often results in jarring cuts that seem unnatural and unnecessary. Instead of allowing some of DC's finest characters to shine, Warner Brothers made a movie that feels like a subpar copy of The Avengers.
As far as the plot goes, the entire movie is structured around a MacGuffin. A generic villain is chasing a generic thing, in this case 3 mother boxes, to perform his generic evil task of destroying the Earth. There's no meat to the story, it just happens. I understand DC needed a big threat to bring the team together, but the final product comes across as lazy and forced. I think I can safely speak for everyone when I say I'm tired of watching heroes fight evil space bugs. There's no tension in the movie because the Justice League is obviously going to save the day and Superman is obviously going to come back. Any attempts at creating genuine drama result in terrible dialogue and cheesy moments like Lois Lane reaching across an empty bed in the middle of the night. Instead of allowing the visuals to tell the story, everything is spoon-fed to the audience through an excessive amount of exposition. The whole movie feels like an extended fight scene with a few breaks sprinkled in to inject some story into it. Wonder Woman essentially reveals the whole plot to Batman through a voice-overed flashback that goes out of its way to explicitly mention every major detail. If the footage shows a person transforming into a parademon, it doesn't need to say what's happening. The movie should allow the audience to put together themselves. From a character standpoint, The Flash is probably the best part of the movie. Ezra Miller has a great sense of comedic timing and does a wonderful job acting with his eyes, especially whenever he's running at super speed. Flash feels like the only character who actually works with Snyder's visual style. His trademark slow-mo action has become so routine at this point, it's boring. But it actually fits for the Flash as he runs around and perceives everything in slow motion. Cyborg and Aquaman are okay, but they seem more like caricatures than genuine characters here. To counter the idea that Aquaman is a lame hero, the movie gave him a level of swagger that borders on him being a tool. The Icky Thump sequence in particular feels shoved in to create a viral moment, showcasing just how much of a bro he really is. In a desperate attempt to put some comedy in the film, the creative team decided to turn Batman into a one-liner machine. While everyone cracks jokes, and even Wonder Woman has a few, Batman's sense of humor feels the most out of character. He was so serious and dark in BVS that to hear him say things like, "I'm rich," or "that's gonna hurt in the morning," seem out of place. Putting some comedy in the DCU was a smart move, but Batman is not the right vessel for it. Even if he's generally more cheery in this movie, he should be brooding in the background, not making wisecracks. Steppenwolf is probably one of the worst villains to be in a superhero movie. There's no subtlety or personality, he's just a walking, talking bomb. Nicknamed the Destroyer of Worlds, the only thing he wants to do is destroy the world. Plus, the visual effects were so clunky, you couldn't even tell Ciaran Hinds was doing any motion capture work. While Mark Ruffalo's face is clearly distinguishable when he's playing the Hulk, Steppenwolf just looks like a guy wearing a rubber CGI mask. From a design perspective, the movie is as ugly as you would expect. BVS's muddied colors are dialed up to 11 here, despite the lighter tone. The color from Wonder Woman has disappeared and been replaced with a gray stillness that makes the whole movie look like a video game cutscene. There's one moment at the Kent farm that looks so amateurish, it's hard to tell whether they shot on location in a field or just threw the actors in front of a green screen. Another sharp difference between this movie and Wonder Woman is the way the Amazon warriors dress. The Amazons were given what's likely the most fun sequence in the entire movie, as they try to keep the Mother Box away from Steppenwolf, but for some reason, their full-bodied costumes were scaled back. Instead of wearing armor to guard their torsos, the Amazons have what are essentially battle bikinis that expose more of their body to damage. There's no doubt in my mind that this was a Snyder decision. Just look at how he dressed his female warriors in Sucker Punch. Unfortunately, I'm not surprised this movie is a train wreck, but I'm still disappointed. I have a frickin' Batman tattoo, guys. I'm a DC fanboy for life, but I don't think they know what they're doing when it comes to the film side of things.
Look, I'll probably see all of the DC movies as the years go by, but man, it's getting really hard to care. In a movie that features the big screen team-up of the Justice League, my favorite parts were the small Easter eggs and the 2 after-credit scenes. A lot of reviews have been calling it fun, a polite way to say it's trash, but I don't even know if I want to say that. After a few days thinking about this, I have no idea how to rate this movie, except to say it's bad, but not bad enough to be enjoyable.